What's good, everybody?
What's
Man, we
up?
just man, we gonna wait on a couple people to show up in the old chat. Stu Dog, what's good, bro?
Salute, man. What's going on?
You know, doing our Wednesday thistle.
Okay.
We got some great new comics to crack open and talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Quite a few of that.
Or Suspects Queen B in the building. Salute, sis. What up? Just waiting on a few people to gather.
Queen B. Salute. What's going on?
You watched Loki? Yeah, she says she watched Loki. Loki was dope. I didn't watch today's show yet.
I didn't either. I wanted to.
Will.
Yeah, I wanted to. I just did. Yeah. I had
Loki.
But I did watch the first episode like twice. I've seen it twice. It makes, the more you watch it, the more it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, if you didn't get it, like if you watch it, he's like, man, what is going on? Like what in the hell? If you go back and watch it again, you'll be like, okay, all right, then you'll get it.
I think it was pretty clear the first time around. You probably just wasn't into it at the moment. You probably just wasn't really paying attention. I know I do that sometimes. You know, I watch a show and now if I got stuff on my mind or, you know, whatever's going on, I'm watching the show. I'm hearing what they're saying. It's just kind of going in one ear and out the other.
Right.
And I end up, you know, needing to watch it again. But yeah, I was really dialed in the first time I watched it. So I don't think I'm gonna watch it again, but I think part 2 is gonna be dope. We got 3 people in here now. I think part 2 is gonna be dope. Part 1 was dope. Like it you know, it set up this whole big, you know, the timeline, the timekeepers, all of that stuff, which gives Marvel like the license to retcon anytime they want. You know what I mean? They can just, that wrong timeline, or you know, right timeline, or the variant did that, and that's why that happened. So they just they give themselves, you know, the walking
stuff. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
the MacGuffin license.
Right. So then if you take like say if you take the X-Men, those first movies, you can say, well, that was a variant timeline. But here they are, the way they're supposed to be.
Right. Number one suspect. What up, brother? My bro in the building. I ain't seen you in here in a minute, bro.
Yeah. So these indies, all man. Right. I've been checking out these indies you asked me to read, man. That Berserker's cool.
It is. I like that. And I'm gonna be honest. I haven't read Berserker until today.
Right.
I didn't read issue 1 or issue 2. I have them. Yeah, I mean, I've been collecting them, but you know, I haven't just got. It's hard to read everything. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to read. Look, I mean, that's a lot of material. I can't. You know, I started off as a reader. I started off buying something, reading it, buying something else, reading it. You know what I mean? Why is my phone making all this noise? You know, I started doing all of that, and as I was doing it, I started to buy whole runs. Like I would buy, you know, like a 25 comic storyline and buy all the comics and then try to get through them. And I got, you know, and then I bought another thing, and so started piling up stuff, and then I just got behind and way behind. Right. Like I've bought everything that any mutant related title that's come out since House of X, Powers of X, but I'm only up to like X of Swords. I'm still in X of Swords, and they're already on the gala now, and I haven't even got that far. So OG Lee, what's good, my brother?
OG Lee in the building. What's going on?
West Coast in the house.
How you guys doing?
Cali. Man, we chilling, bro. We just chopping it up, waiting for people to gather, waiting for you. You know,
I had to get off my roof, man. I had to work on my AC right now, so.
Oh man, that's
Hey, Lee, listen, man. It's a heat wave out that way, Lee. How you making out?
What's that?
It's a heat wave out your way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they said.
Well, this just shows people how important this show is. I'm just letting my whole family melt right now. I just said, screw it, man. My AC isn't important, man. Hip hop and comics is what's important.
Man.
So, hey, man, my family's suffering right now, but I'm in a room that has fans, so I'm cool, and that's what matters. Just kidding. I love my family.
That's all that matters.
We know that. We know that. That's what's up, man. So, all right. Well, look, I think we read pretty much the same stuff. We read Berserker #3. We read Static #1. Right. We read the Silver Coin #3. Right.
Yes, sir. Silver Coin was very interesting. Very.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
crazy, right? I don't even know. Yeah, man. What's cool about Silver Coin? I don't know. Let's do. I guess let's do Silver Coin first. Let me pull up this old share screen. Actually, let me pull up the comic first. So I want people to be able to see the imagery in this book because it's quite graphic, but it's cool. All right. I wonder if I should do the window. Okay, try that. All right. Okay, cool. So y'all can see that's it, the Silver Coin. It's kind of confusing for me to do this because I can't see. Okay, that's what I want to do. All right, so there we go. Silver Coin #3. What's dope about this comic, one of the things is that it's an anthology. Like every issue is completely separate from the other. The stories aren't related except by this coin. This one coin is like in issue 1, all this stuff happened while this coin was present. Issue 2, wherever that coin went, like something else and a whole nother story took place. Issue 3, we have like a bunch of teenagers, or I guess I assume teenagers. They seem pretty young. We have written by Ed Bryson, lines and letters by Michael Walsh, colors by Michael Walsh and Tony Marie Griffin. Did beautiful work here, man. Like the art's crazy. I love how they do the panels and do the speech bubbles floating between and stuff. But you got these 3 kids, right? And they're starts off, they break into this house and they're burglarizing this house, and the old man that's home falls out and dies. And of course they bug out, like, now we looking at murder. What should we do? So they talk it through and they decide that, well, shit, we going down anyway. We might as well take everything of value in the house. This is the mind of moron kids. So they decide they're going to rob everything in the house. Of course they do, and they take off. But while they're doing that, this chick here, she hears her name, Lisa. It does not belong to you, right? And she's like, hey, man, y'all hear that? Like, man, shut up, man. You ain't hear nothing. Nah, this dude's alive. He was talking. Nah, he's definitely dead. So they move on. They take off. They take everything, hop in the car. This dude sets fire to the house, burns it down. Old pyromaniac with a mullet. They take off. They flying down the road in the snow. We all know how smart that is. Police get behind them.
Now, see, that's the part I didn't get that part. Okay, they're driving in the snow. They drove past the cop. He comes out of nowhere. This all seems set up to me. But still good.
Yeah.
Now in the back of the car, the girl took the coin from. Did she take the coin from the old man?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, no, not like off his person. It's just something that they picked up.
That's what I thought
out
was
of the
weird
house.
Because I didn't see the girl like sneak it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
take it or anything.
Exactly.
Right.
Like dude's talking to her or whatever, saying it doesn't belong to you. Like, did she already have it? Or
I mean, as we find out, it wasn't the dead man talking to her. It's something in her head. It's the guy at the end that we'll get to in a second. The owner of the coin that's talking to her.
So I'm thinking the coin also because of the coin. That's why the cops started. Like I looked at it like, the cops started because of the coin, because they were scot free.
Like it's bad luck, huh?
Right? Yeah. That's what I right. That's how I assumed it. Like this.
Got you. Yeah, definite. Yeah, that coin brought that bad luck of the cop getting behind them, and we see it. Boom, she pulls it out, and like an eyeball opens up on it. It's crazy, but she don't know if she's seeing that or whatever. And she kind of gets she's first she's like, take this next left. I know how we can lose him. And dude looks in the back and they show her actually piss herself, and she's like completely like not herself, right?
Right.
Like possessed or something. And then this bird flies into the windshield, which causes him to crash. That's definitely bad luck. Like that's definitely the coin bringing
bad, right?
This fate upon them.
Right.
Yeah, because
now the bird.
First the cops, not a bird. What are the odds? They slide on the snow, flip over the rail, crash. I love this scene right here. The real asshole with the mullet. His face is just look like ground beef.
Yeah, he's all. He's all.
Yeah, he's done. He's mangled.
He look like Sloppy Joe right now.
Mm-hmm. And then the passenger, the other dude, he's like, yo, he's like, Lisa, come help me. And we hear that voice again, bring it to me, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like zoned out. She walks over to him. He's like, yeah, man, help me get out of here. You gotta help me. Yeah, get that glass. Help me cut that seatbelt off. And she's just like, I'm sorry, and just wow, just right in the jugular.
Right, just shink. Yeah, she got him with
shink. Or just bleeds him out. Cops pull up and they're like, yo, chick, freeze. And she's like, sorry, and takes off into the woods. There's that bird again. So they give chase, of course. And then look, you see these like demon things? I don't even know what it is. Ghosts. Like, that was wicked. And they say, or that voice says, they cannot enter. Allow them to trespass no further. Only the possessor of the coin is welcome. Yes. When she turns around and then
she's back in the trance.
Right. And they're and she runs up behind this cop with the rocks, smashes him in the head. The other cop turns around to shoot her, but the bird flies in front of him, messes up his shot or whatever, and she runs up. And this is the part that was like, I was like, oh wow. Right? She ran up and just bit his throat out. Just tore it out with her teeth. And then you see chew, because she didn't just tear his throat out and like spit it out. She tore a chunk out and literally ate it. Right,
yeah.
And the voice is like, yes, almost there, almost home. And then she's walking, and here's those demon things, like these spirits. And he will be pleased. The coin. So he waits for you, right? She's walking up, still got the flesh hanging out of her mouth, still chewing, chew.
Still in a trance.
Still in a trance. She knocks on the door, says, I have returned the coin. And this dude with the old Quaker looking hat, right? He's like, yes, child, you did well. And the light comes out. As soon as he gets the coin from her, she snaps back into her personality. She's like, what? Where am I? What's going on? And he's like, at your end. You've returned what is mine. And then he does the old Thanos snap.
Right, says you shall be compensated.
Mm-hmm. And she just spontaneously combusts. No. And just burns to death right there at the end.
So I love compensation for bringing back the coin, man. That's
right.
But live, man.
Right. You know what I mean? But in the previous issue, I read the issue before this. I didn't read the first one, but I don't think this guy, the owner of the coin, I didn't see none of that. So I don't know if it's super anthology. Like,
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I was gonna, is it like the ring? Is it like the ring from Lord of the Rings?
No, I don't think so. And I think that this story with this guy with the hat, you know, he's, you know, bring me the coin. That might just be like just a totally unique story that has nothing to do with like the other issues. I don't think there's a guy that wants the coin. I don't think that's part of the other issues. I think the coin's just there. The first issue, matter of fact, I remember, is it's a young band, and like the guy finds it and uses it like a guitar pick, and they become like, you know, super famous and everything because he's using this coin as a pick. I don't know how it turns out.
The issue before this one, right? Number 2. It's and you're saying the only thing that's the same is the coin, correct? Like each story is a one-off.
Right.
Because like reading this on its own, like I didn't feel lost. You know what I mean? Because I jumped right into it like it was an issue number 1, and I just thought great, like Nice House and Conjuring, like it was just a crazy book. But like I liked it, man. Like I'm curious to see, because how you said in that other issue how the guy used it for a pick. I'm curious to see in the end if they're like whatever issue they ended in, if they're all gonna tie up, or if it's just that coin's journey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like now, now
that's
it, like what's gonna happen to that guy? Like,
well, if that guy isn't in the previous issues, like the, you know, the owner or the guy that wants the coin brought or whatever, then we know that that's just this story. They just made a cool story about it. The coin is sort of the subject of the story, but it might not even be the same coin. It might just be called the silver coin, and each issue is about a coin. It might not be the same coin, so we don't know, because right at the end of this, they give you a preview of the next issue.
Right, they go to the end. Right, I read that.
Yeah, it takes place in 2467. Right, way in the future.
I'll still be alive then.
right, yeah. Sure. And like, yeah, you'll be like this guy here with all cyborg parts.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Because this issue, that not the next one, but the one we read today, because that was like 85 or 86. It says in the beginning, right? Like 1985, 1986. And that's this is going to be a crazy book, man.
Oh, yeah, it just shows you how the coin goes throughout time. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Right, because the 80s one, that was super 80s with the kid with the mullet, and you know, he's wearing the cut off sleeve jean jacket, like straight out of, you know what I mean, like the 80s movies. But this one is crazy too. Like, I can't wait to read this issue, the next issue. It's like about the future, and he's like, you know, he got this drone. It's like, oh, the year is 2467, and the old world has been buried beneath the junk of a new civilization. From the trash, a scavenger discovers a coin.
Morlocks.
Right.
So didn't ask where you. So it's like the One Ring.
Similar, right? And then you know, because like, yeah, there was definitely times go by, and then the ring sort of you know resurfaces. But she's like, don't hit him in the face, Dunn. Still need to be able to open his wallet. Yeah. Let's see what you got in there. And she's going to use her eye. And I guess that there's some sort of like retinal scan, maybe to get in someone's wallet or something. And she pulls her eye out, and it's like worms free. And there's just all these little worms in her eye. Crazy. Initiating wetware, prepping for link. Maybe they're wires, but they definitely look like worms. And she said worms free. But some cool futuristic post-apocalyptic stuff going on there, man. So y'all know how we do you know how we do the old the rating system, right? We got story time at Reno. What's good, Ed Santos, man? Salute Clayface in the building.
Santos, salute Clayface, salute.
So we got this rating system, right? And it goes like, dope is just the book is good, you know, it's a dope book, you know, nothing special about it, it's dope. And then we got hella dope, which is like, this is, you know what I mean, like this is an extra good book, like this is something I highly recommend, go out and get this. And then super dope is like once in a lot, like you it's like CGC giving you a 10. It almost never happens, but it exists. But like, it's got to be something real special to be super dope. But and then of course whack is just whack. So what do y'all give this? A dope, a super dope, or hella dope, or super dope? I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna say it's hella dope because it's better than average.
That's what I would give it, man. Hell, I'm definitely like I'm gonna keep reading this, man. It's awesome. Like,
Sure.
you know, but that's because like I'm into stuff like that. That's why I'm not saying it's super dope because that's not for everybody. But if you're into that, it is definitely worth checking out, man.
For sure.
I would give it 2 great albums, which would make it hella dope. Which would make it hella dope for me.
So definitely not a black album, right? Steve?
Definitely not a black album. Forget the black
album.
album is done. It's done.
No.
But it would get 2 great albums from me.
Yeah, I think it definitely qualifies.
You know, I give it hella dope because I like the premise of it's a different story every comic.
Right.
And the coin is like the ring of power to me, in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody that finds it gives them some misfortune, but it always finds its way back to its owner.
To its owner, right.
And then you get compensated. I think.
Hey, until you pointed that out, like I didn't even think about that until you said that, man. Like, it is. It's like that's what it reminds me of, you know, just from person to person to person to person until it reaches its destiny or whatever.
Then you get compensated, that's dope. That's what makes it hella dope to me. Cause like you shall compensated, and then you spontaneously combust. That's right. It. That's all you get, baby. Crazy. Barbecue. Yeah, barbecue on any day of the week. So,
it's like today was like it's crazy because this is our 3rd episode of New Comic Book Day Indie Reviews, and it was a super like issue 3 day. Like Silver Coin 3 dropped, Berserker 3 dropped, like Renaissance Resistance Uprising 3 dropped. And it's a bunch of 3s that dropped, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Not only that all these 3s dropped, but it's also our 3rd episode, so kind of cool. But here we go, like Berserker number 3. I ain't been reading Berserker. Like I haven't read 1 or 2. I have them. I just gotten to them.
I read 1 and 2. You? Well, you know what? I read 3, and then I was like, wait a minute, hold up, man. I had questions, so I went back and read 2, and then I went back and read 1. But I'm glad I read them like that because I understood it more when I read them back. Like it gave me a better understanding.
Because this is kind of like an origin story.
Yes. The best way I can explain it, if I had to explain it, was if you take what was that movie? Highlander. It's sort of like Highlander. It starts off real early in time, and then you get to the modern day.
And it's this one guy that he's immortal and he's a warrior.
Right. He's sort of like Wolverine, but he has this berserker rage. Like he goes into like this trance.
So does Wolverine.
Right. And then he kicks ass and he takes names. And any damage he takes, it doesn't even affect him. But after it's all done, he heals. Like his body heals, his wounds heal. It talks about his parents trying to teach him in the early, I'll say issue 2. It really, really devolves deep into his parents teaching him how to control his gift. Or that's what they call it. They call it a gift because they said it was a gift from the gods. The mother prayed to the gods for a gift to help them. They lived in a small village, and their village.
You mean in this issue 3?
In all issues, it talks about how in issue 1 it talks about how they had a village, and the village kept getting attacked, and they couldn't defend themselves that well. So the leader of the village was his father and mother. The mother would pray to these gods, sort of like because it has a Conan esque to it in the first 2 issues. So
I didn't know that. I thought that this was the first time they went back to that ancient village.
No, in the first 2 issues, they're in the village, and the mother says that, she's talking to her father. She says, "Listen, always pray." Dad really brings it up. He says, "Well, you always pray to the gods, and you pray to different gods than I pray to." And so she prays to the gods. They go to this cave. They give the offering, and next thing you know, a bolt of lightning comes down, and this bolt of lightning turns into an energy being that procreates with the mother. She comes out of the cave stumbling because he put in work. I mean, if I was made up, out of electricity. I put in work too. You know what I mean? So she comes out. Not saying I don't put, but I do put in work like I'm made up. But I ain't made out. But you know how I go. But anyway, so long story short, they come out. A day later, she's pregnant. And the father and her say, "Oh, this is the gift that they sent us." So he's born in like 6 days or something like that, or 2 days.
Right.
Like 6. It took a total of 6 days. So he's born. He comes out the womb, and he's growing at an incredible rate.
Right.
So he's not growing like a normal child. He's reaching maturity real quick. The first thing they found out was that he has this berserker rage. He just goes crazy and rips and tears up. He goes John Wick on everything.
Right.
He goes into a
I've heard of this. I've heard this compared to Wolverine and John Wick.
Yeah, because he just goes into a trance and he tears up everything in his path. So they had a village trainer, I guess a warrior trainer that trained him how to be, so he was teaching him how to focus, but he winds up killing the trainer. He kills the trainer. Finally, in issue 2, they get another, like these guys right here that you see. It had only been 2 seasons since he was born. So 2 seasons, he's already a teenager. Okay. Right. And then it says, but already he was making an impact. Now, all those bodies you see, that's just the stuff. That's just where he was just, because right now, by this time here, he had killed the trainer, and they were just unleashing them on the guys when they would show up at the village. They show up at the village, and the mother and father be like, you know what? You can have whatever you want. Wait right here. Let me go get it. And they would come back with him, and he'd be like, get him. And the son would just tear up everything. He would get angry, go into the trance, his eyes turn blue, and that's what you would have after he got done. And that's where they say leaving his mark. So that's what they're saying. Like, as each and every tribe came back to take advantage of them, they would just unleash them on them. By the time we get to issue 3, they're good at it. So instead of waiting for the people to come to them, they were going out and unleashing him on the neighboring villages. And he was just making devastation, just like you see in these pages here. By the middle of issue 3, they flash forward to him in a helicopter with a commando team, and they unleashed him on. They didn't say who. They went on a mission and unleashed him on somebody, and 2 guys that were on his commando team, they got in the way. He wound up killing them. Now, the question I have is, at the very end of the issue, there is a lady in issue 2. She's interviewing her. So everything you see here is a story that he's telling her from his point of view. And the lady's asking him questions. So they flash forward to the future, and the guy is talking to the lady scientist, and they're saying, look, was he born from a bolt of lightning? And that would be, and they go into the whole statistics of that. And see, this is dad unleashing him on the villages. And he has an issue when he was a kid because he just wanted to be a normal, loved kid. But they called him unto or something like that, which means tool and weapon at the same time. His father, they flash forward to, his father got good at unleashing him. See, there's the lightning strike. But his father got good at unleashing them on different villages. And like he said, he stopped waiting for them to come, and he started going and just letting him go. He kind of compared himself to being a dog on a leash, and he would just let him go. And he would just tear up everything in his path. And that's what happened with the commando team. 2 guys got in the way. He killed them. They were casualties of war. But at the very end of the book, which is the part I can't understand, what I would say I understand but didn't get was the guy gives them 2 pills. I guess it's the commanding officer. Says, here, take these. They help. And he says, okay, they do. And then they go to the lady that's interviewing him, and she says to him, well, listen, we're helping you control this. Like, we know you try to control it. So then he goes back and he says, well, throughout time, somebody's always prodded me, took samples of blood, skin samples, blood samples, hair samples, anything. They hit me with radiation just to try to understand what I am. I don't even know what I am, but I know what I can do.
It's like, and because if you've been following the story, through issue 1 and 2, what I'm what I'm getting is that like this is the history of B revealed, you know, and Diana's that chick that, you know, the science the government lady or whatever, digging deeper into his memories.
Right.
Meanwhile, Caldwell makes his next move to take advantage of this information and put the master plan into motion. It's you know, it's not Keanu, not even Matt Kent, although Matt Kent is a freaking superstar. It's Ron Garney and Bill Crabtree. I freaking love this art. It's bloody and absurd and perfect. And I mean, like, seriously, like you saw the panels as I was showing them. He's just like destroying dudes, you know what I mean? Like
everything
while being shot in the back, right? Destroying, punching through guys' sternum, ripping heads off. I mean,
it was like Invincible.
Like it was like berserk.
It was like Invincible up in there.
Right.
And
how do you do?
You realize why they call him Berserker. Like you realize why it's called Berserker. Like you like, yo, this guy is really like he's the real deal. You know, like there's one scene, like there's a bunch of arrows sticking out his back. Like and he's still giving out work.
And Pops is just pulling him out, you know, just talking to him like, you know, we need you, son. Like, you know, because he don't really want to do this no more already. He's like, man, I don't want to be this tool. You know what I mean? Like, is this all I'm good for? You know what I mean? Like, but it's a like a fascinating story. And they're distracting us with the epic, you know, type of bloody violence and you know, slipping in a pretty clever concept here. And, you know, we can all agree that if the government got their hands on an immortal killing machine, they would manipulate him and find, you know, a way to ride him until he expired. Like it would just use him up. And the commentary is text, not even subtext. We have to extricate ourselves from the bloody violence to see it. But take your time, y'all. Read this book twice. There is some great work happening here for sure. And I'm definitely going back and reading issue 1 and 2. Just based on this alone.
Listen, if you can read them backwards, trust me, it made more sense when I read them back. Not saying it wouldn't if you went forward, but when I read them backwards, I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I went.
So you went 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's exactly
right.
Yeah,
and honestly, if you're, you know, just this is a review show, so I will tell you that like the negatives of it is that if there's a fault, it's that it's spends a lot of time just glorifying mindless graphic violence, which is dope to me. I love it. But if that's not your thing, then you're gonna hate this book. It's honestly a pretty graphic bloodbath, but that's what's dope about it. But you know what I mean? Like I think it's fun. It's a bloody mess. I'm not totally sure if they're taking themselves seriously or making fun of themselves here, but I don't care. I just love it. People want to hate the series before it came out, but that was a mistake.
I don't understand.
Right, that was a mistake.
Great, bro. When I read issue 3, I had to read issue 1 and 2 because I wanted to know. It was just too like I said when the guy handed him the pills at the end, he was like, "Look, you take these help." Then I went back and read 1 and 2. I said, "Oh, I see why now."
Okay. Yeah, what was that all? What's that pill all about? Well, don't tell me. Don't
they tell him like it's his new protocol? Right at the end of he says like this is part of your new protocol, and he hands him his capsules.
Yeah, but he's like only 2 now, or 2 now. Maybe he's only been getting 1. Maybe he's been getting
more than that. Right.
They're dropping him down to 2 because he killed a bunch of his colleagues, like his comrades.
He killed 2 comrades.
Yeah, they were like the mission is done. We had a couple of casualties, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry about that. They got too close to me."
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm giving BRZRKR super dope. I think this is one of the best books in a while, man. This is
I'm gonna have to.
And this also for it being like a complete arc, it's not anthological or anything. On 3 because same thing. It's first issue I read was 3, right? And I didn't feel lost,
not at all,
because they say the little things throughout this issue. Well, you weren't in the cave with me and mom when I was born, and they talk about lightning striking twice, and
like everything Stu was saying about 1 and 2. I was like, are you sure that's not this one? Because they really touched on that in this one too. Like they,
I mean,
but they show how in 1 and 2 they show how it happens. Like they show the lightning come down. They show the mother's ovaries, and then they show the lightning shoot up between her legs and
Oh wow.
Next thing you know, it's a lightning man making love to the mother. Look like me a little bit. Just I'm not made out of lightning, but they show that, and then she comes out of the cave. Like when she came out of the cave, I was like, all right, well, I was still wondering how he got here, because in one of the in the third book, he says, look to the dad. He says, you weren't there with me and mom in the cave when I was born.
Right. He's like, you ain't my dad. Like somebody.
Right. Are you really my dad? But when you go back to the other issue, he wasn't born. I thought he wasn't born in the cave. Mm-hmm. But to him, he was born that day because she was pregnant a day or two later, and then he was born like 2 days after that.
Right.
So I guess that him being born was just being in a womb, like he was conscious. So that lets you know that he was conscious of himself in her womb.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Right. No, that's right. Because I was thinking like,
you were in the cave when I was born. Like, how do you?
Yeah. How did you know what was in the cave when you were born? Yeah. So yeah, man, definitely recommend Berserker. And definitely recommend you go back and read 1 and 2. It's still very early in the series. If you looking for a comic to jump into, like somewhere to jump on where it's not, you're not gonna be lost, or it's not issue 300 and something. This is one. Berserker.
Yeah, definitely. I'll give it 3 great albums.
Wow.
Yes, sir. That's like 3 great albums. Yes, sir. That's how I got.
So we got, and then I don't know. We got a little bit crunched for time. You got to go to work, Stu. So let's just do one more, which I still call it an indie. It's not. I guess it's not an indie. It's DC, but it's Milestone. You know what I mean? It's still not Avengers or Justice League or whatever, and that's kind of the focus. That's the reason I'm doing the indie reviews. I want to do stuff that's not those main, big 2 common stuff that you always hear about.
Right.
So let's talk about Static. Number 1.
Before we talk about Static, so you don't want to talk about the other one? What's the other one? Revolution or
Resistance? Oh, it's up to you. You said you had to go at 7:30, so I didn't want to.
It's only 7. It's only 7 o'clock. We got time.
We've been taking about a half hour for each one.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Let's do it, man. We're here, man. I'll run it to the wire.
Well, what was
I'll run it to the wire.
The thing with Resistance is I didn't realize this, so that's why I really wasn't gonna do it on this one. This is like volume 2 of see this right here? This is the original. This is Resistance, and it's a 6-issue story that just ended. Like it just ended, and then the new issue, the new comic Resistance Uprising, which that's another issue number 3 that dropped today. Resistance Uprising 3 is like a volume 2 of this. So when I read it personally, I felt like I did have to read the previous stuff. I didn't feel like I wasn't lost. Like I felt like yeah, okay, I can tell this is a dope story. Like I can tell I want to know what's going on, but you don't know what's going on because they're talking about stuff from previous stuff. Am I right?
No, you're right. Because I was trying to figure out a few things. I was like, wait a minute, what is? You know what I mean? But I mean, it was still good. Like it was. I didn't feel lost, but I had questions. Like I had a lot of questions.
Right. Yeah, I think.
Hey, who's the publisher on it? On Resistance? Who's
that's AWA Upshot.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely an indie.
Right on.
And yeah, but this is like the first one is dope. Like, but I didn't get through it all the way, so I'm not really up to speed for the new one, Uprising. But I do recommend that. I do recommend Resistance, and I do recommend getting to Uprising and getting this book that came out today. It's a dope story, but you do have to know what's going on. It's one of these complex government. It's kind of like some event happens and gives certain people powers, and of course the government's like after those people, and they got to hide who they are because and it reminds me of the one we reviewed last time, Moths, which was similar. The one where this virus happened, and then everybody got powers and they could activate them. But then once they activate them, they only live 6 months.
Oh yeah.
And they're running from the government and stuff. So it's kind of like that, but way deeper and much more longevity. They don't die in 6 months, so it's a cooler story. But Static is another one. Static #1 is another book that is kind of like that. It's like some event happens and gives certain people powers, right?
Are you gonna play the trailer for that? For the Milestone? I sent you the trailer for the Milestone hookup.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Check your email real quick.
All right.
We can debut the trailer, and then go into the trailer's dope.
And so it's
hey, Static was always a character I thought was cool, man, but they just like didn't really know what to do with him before. You know what I'm saying? How when he came out in his OG run on his own on the first, was it Milestone, right? And then when they include him in the quote unquote main continuity, what is it, Teen Titans 24, whatever issue that was, you know, and I was like, oh, dope, cool, you know. And same thing, he's just like in and out, man. Like, and he's an awesome dude, man. Like, he's a cool character, but they
didn't do nothing with him.
I agree, man. I agree, because the whole Milestone, those Milestone characters are dope, man. You see them in Young Justice and all that, but you never really, you know, like they show Icon, they show Rocket, they show Static. They didn't show Death Syndicate, and they didn't show Zombie. They didn't show Hardware. They didn't show none of them. But the ones that they did show, like, yo, like DC never did anything with them. Like they bought the company, they bought the characters, the rights, and we got nothing but crickets. We got nothing but crickets from. But Static got a cartoon. He was the most popular one. They pushed him the most.
His cartoon was dope too, man.
Yeah, the cartoon was great, bro. I used to love it. But here we have Dakota City, and it's just a little different, the story this time. In this one, he seems a little more angry to me than he did in the other comic. A little more, you know, guided but misguided, you know.
Right.
But still intent on protecting his identity, which I like.
And it's dope because they definitely like
modernized it.
Yeah, modernized it. It's like really like, I don't know, it sounds just like, you know, like my son's in high school, he's 16. This sounds like high school kids today. Like they did a good job of keeping it. And maybe I'm 42, like maybe I'm, you know, because when we was kids, when they try to make stuff hip or try to make it, you know what I mean, like down with the times or whatever, it was always super corny and like it was never good, right?
Oh God, never.
And it always was like, man, they really try, like damn near like throwing the word groovy and stuff. It's like that was, you know, but I think this one, like I said, I'm for, but me and my son, we hang out like that's my homeboy right there. You know, he's my son, but we do some stuff together where I see him sort of let his hair down, so to speak, and just be himself. Whereas, you know, I was never that open with my parents, you know, and most people aren't. But it's like that. So I see how he really is, how his friends are, you know what I mean? They be over and they talk just like this. Like I feel like they did a real good job. So if you're, you know, a high school kid, which I think that's who this is really geared for, you're gonna dig this. Like it's really on point. Like I could see my son liking this comic.
Hey, the artwork too, man. Like, how cool is the artwork in this, really, man?
Right.
Like, it's God.
Look at this. I mean,
excellent. I like it.
This book is just cool all the way around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. It is.
And it's, you know, it's this kid in high school going through, you know, what kids at that age go through. He's got a bully, you know, but they really bring it, you know, with the modern times, because in this story, this is not Static from the 90s. This is a different like story altogether. There's like some experimental tear gas that they used on people at a riot, or like a protest, rather, not a riot, just a protest. And what's that company that it's the same, like it's like the one that was in the old Static. It's like it's like their Hydra or something.
Yeah.
Begins with an A.
Something like that. And so they used some experimental tear gas on the crowd, and certain people that got gassed came away, with powers, ended up with powers for whatever reason. He ended up with the electricity. His bully ended up with like some fire. Of course, his bully gets, is one of the ones that gets the power. So, but they go into talking a lot about what it was like being at the protest, how traumatic that was, what it was like getting tear gassed, and all of that stuff that is really relevant to, today, obviously.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Was what's going on. And I think they did they did a great job keeping it realistic and keeping it, real current. And again, like you said, Lee, look at the art, man. Like it's crazy.
Because the guy in the original series, what's his name? His name was F-Stop. He was the gang leader. I mean, F-Stop. Wade. Because remember, a lot of people in the original one, a lot of people got powers. And a lot, a few didn't, but a lot did. And he was actually the one to bring them all, bring most of them to justice and, stop them.
Okay. And that's kind of what's going on here. Like he's fighting his bully. That's one of the guys that got power. And then the guy actually burns like his whole family's house down. But this reminded me, this picture right here, this reminded me like of Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's going Super Saiyan right there, man.
He's going Super Saiyan right there. Yeah, straight up.
He looks kind of like a cross between Frieza right there, because the way his face is, and Cell.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Yeah, this is like again, that's what the kids, like anime wasn't cool when we were kids, but anime is like cool now. Like it's cool in high school to rock anime, stuff, talk about anime, you know what I mean? Like it's, Dragon Ball Z and all of that is dope. And I think they definitely are appealing to that demographic. And then boom, that's his bully burns his parents' house down. But look at the facial expression on him right here. Can y'all see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like drawn so beautifully, man. Like the colors, like again, you're gonna really love this book for the art, the story. You don't have to be a teenager to enjoy this book or to get it or to be entertained by it by any means. Anybody can relate to this. I'm just saying that they did a good job keeping it real and making these kids really seem like high school kids of today. But I think Static is going to be phenomenal. This is another super dope book to me. I don't know how y'all feel.
Yeah, I'm down with the super.
Oh yeah,
I'm down with the super. I'm a big fan of Milestone comics and their characters, and I always just wish DC did more with it. I really do, bro. I mean, but they did do a nice trailer. They did do a nice trailer for it. For the.
You want to watch it?
Yeah. Let it roll.
All right, bust.
We'll see what they get.
Welcome to the city of Dakota. The Big Bang protest changed everything, including me. I'm Static. Few of us survived and got these powers. Now, I can control electricity. I'm going to fight to make a difference.
My life changed when I met a 200-year-old superpowered alien. I'm Raquel Irvin. I asked him if he could get rid of the drug dealers and save our city. I'm Rocket, and he's Icon. Now, he gave me this power belt and made me his partner.
You don't need powers to fight for justice if you got the right hardware. I invented high-tech armor and next-level weapons to even the playing field with the corrupt powers of this world. The big shots think they can push us all around. Well, just try pushing me.
Together, we'll get justice for those who can't stand up for themselves.
It'll be a milestone.
Dope.
I have goosebumps, man. Like, hey, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
I got hardware. What was the other one? It was Icon or something?
Icon and Rock.
hardware and static.
Yeah, I got hardware and static in my pull list at the comic shop at the LCS. And I am looking for Icon as we speak. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be following these joints.
Hey, that's crazy. Just the other day when I was at the shop, I was looking at like old books, and I picked up a book. It was just like a random ass, old book from one of the boxes, and I was just tripping on the cover. Oh wow, man! And my boss points to the guy on the cover, and he goes, "Oh wow!" He goes, "Hardware." He goes, "God, man, it was such a cool character." And I was like, "Oh wow, dude!" Like, heck, man, like that's God.
Yeah, dog.
Dope trailer, right?
Yeah, man, that was sick. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be copping those.
It was even Icon even fought Superman. It was even when Superman went the blows in the early 90s or late 90s.
Because he's kind of like he's the black Superman.
Yeah, he's exactly
without being the black Superman.
Right. He's actually he's just as strong, just as smart. I think he's smarter than Superman, but he's just as strong, just as durable, just as everything, man. He just but the alien race that he's from, they actually have technology that can make him even stronger. So like his pod is what that he crashed in. He couldn't repair it. He couldn't get it because remember he crashed during slavery times. So he was a slave.
Right.
He went through all of that. And he never used his powers.
That's what I'm telling people. Like with the one shot with the Superman, the Black Clark Kent, it would be interesting to see what it would be like for an alien that crashed here that looked like a black man instead of looking like a white man. Because Kal-El wasn't a white man; he wasn't a human. He was Kryptonian, right? What if he looked like a black man? How different would that story have been, in different ways due to, just due to the times, racism, all of that? Because especially at the time when Kal-El did land, I thought that would have been a dope one shot. Like that would have been a dope story. But from what you're telling me, and I haven't read that, what you're telling me, that's kind of what they did with Icon.
Exactly what they did with him. Because he lands and he lands like his pod lands in the middle of this, like I think it's like a swamp. And he gets out, he hides it. And then he took the form of an African American. He took the form of a black man. And at the time, in the country, black people were slaves. So he was a slave. And he lived like a slave. He did everything. And as time went on, because he doesn't age like we do, he just kept going. So it got to the point where, he got, you get modern times. Now he's here. He's got money. He's worked for a corporation.
So, but he didn't have powers?
He had powers the whole time. He just never used them.
Why? Why did he choose to live and be a slave?
He was trying to blend in. He was trying to blend in. He didn't want anybody to know.
Okay.
And he also was trying to get his pod fixed so he could leave, but it was going to take a while. They never said how long. So he just.
Well, what then? If he was getting ready to leave and there wasn't no agenda, like how Omni-Man has an agenda. It's why he came here, why he blended in, because he had an agenda. It was something he was gonna, he had to do with Earth. But if Icon's plan was to fix his ship and leave, what was his reasoning for wanting to blend in? If I'm here, my ship's broke. All I gotta do is fix my ship. I'm getting ready to regulate this shit.
Well, one could fix
it. But look, if you're an alien, you land here like that, bro, you don't know what powers we have.
Right.
Like
it was sort of like that, right?
On our planet,
right.
Like there could be 10,000 of us that would just bomb rush you, man, and like just trying to, hey, man, I'm just here, got to fix my ride.
Is that what it was?
Well, his people are peaceful. They're not like Omni-Man. They're peaceful. They are an advanced alien race. Like he was actually smarter. Like he's actually super smart. So like being is that he couldn't fix his pod because he didn't have the materials to do it. But he used the pod here and there to get things done that he needed. And as time went on and things started to, get more where he could use technology.
Right.
By the time that came, he had blended in so well. He was just like, well, it's not too bad being here anyway. And that's like kind of like he was I think he was a lawyer or something like that. He was like a lawyer or an attorney, really successful. He finally used his powers when he met Rocket. Some guys broke into her house or something. I forget the exact story, either broke or something, but they broke in. Oh, this was he was home. They broke into his house, and she came somehow and saw him use his powers to defend himself against the criminals. And after that, he was just like, look, like, don't tell anybody. And she was like, okay.
Like a reboot of that, because this new one that's coming out, Icon and Rocket, listen what it says. This is exactly what you're saying the original one was. Long ago, the stranded alien known as Arnis gave up hope of returning to his home planet. Tragically, he'd also realized that his adopted home of Earth was beyond saving. Content to waste away his long life living in a human guise, Arnis was past caring until the day a young woman named Raquel Irvin crashed into his life. Soon she convinced him to put his incredible power to work again as the heroic Icon and transform her into his sidekick, Rocket. But an innocent question on Rocket's part, why can't we do something about the drugs on my corner, quickly set a chain of events in motion, leading to the pair becoming the most hunted beings on Earth. And they're not just being pursued by Earthlings either. Writer, director, and producer Reginald Hudlin and superstar artist Doug Braithwaite unleash a tale of power and responsibility that will stretch from the boardrooms of corporate America to the jungles of South America and the depths of deep space. If you ever thought you were a certain thing, if you ever thought there were certain things that a superhero story just couldn't do, it might be time to start thinking different. It's a lot. It's a big thing, but that's kind of what you're saying.
It is.
That's the same story, but
same story. They'll probably modernize.
It's missing the slavery part. It's missing the historical part, and I think, man, I'm going to get those. Like, I'm going to get those books. I think that sounds dope. Like, if they did it right, the potential there, man. If they were to redo, I'm a history buff, so like going through the whole, last, couple of 100 years of America, seeing it, seeing all of that happen, take place, all of the different eras and stuff, I think would be a whole dope series in itself.
It was great, bro. When you read it, like I showed you guys the my Icon #1 from back in the 90s. It's sealed. Mine is still sealed.
Did you?
Yeah. Remember I pulled out the comic. I bring it out on Monday. I'll bring it out Monday on Monday show. Okay. Show it to you, man. But I think they're gonna modernize this story into today, and I'm with you. I think they're gonna skip over the slavery part. But that was a big part of the story, how he survived being a slave the whole time. Because at any given time, he could have been like, you know what? I ain't picking no cotton today. You know what I mean? But I dare you to do something about it. You know what I mean?
That's what I was wondering, why he didn't do that, why he chose to go ahead and blend in. For what was he hiding from? Why did he? And like you said, he might have not known what else humans were capable of. And I think there are other metas, there are other people with powers in the world at this time.
Right. What's in the modern DC universe? So you had Vandal Savage was alive back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Vandal Savage was alive back then. Jonah Hex was alive. Ra's al Ghul was alive.
Really?
Then. Yeah. Race is hundreds of years old.
Race
is old. Race is very old.
I didn't know
that. Yeah. Vandal Savage is the oldest, but Race is old. Yeah. Race is old.
Did you know there was the Icon? There was I'm looking at it now. They got like like DC, like Marvel, like figures, like DC Legends, Marvel Legends figures.
I'm looking for an Icon. I wish I could get my hands on one.
Got one. I'm looking at one right now. It's fire.
What website?
Hold on, I'm gonna show it to you right now.
Yeah. Please show us that. I need that in my life.
Watch this. It's dope too. It's dope. Bam.
Oh yeah. I definitely got to get that.
Woo!
Look at that.
And huge cape, almost Venom like, Spawn like.
Yes,
Giant
cape
cape.
is long. Yeah, in the comics, in the original cape is super long. But
that's dope, man.
that is dope, man.
I mean, that's
Hey,
that's.
Does it say what line it is? Like, is it DC Essentials or you know what I mean?
It says loose collector,
Loose
custom
collector.
figure studio icon. Maybe it's a custom figure. Maybe it is one of a kind.
Yeah, because that yeah.
That's
I've
sick.
I've never seen this on any of the toy stores. You know, the like Big Bad Toy Store. None of them.
Wow.
No, I've never seen. And Big Bad Toy Store, they do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. That cover. That's the new cover for the new issue.
What?
The one you just showed, the icon.
Oh, did I show one?
Yeah. It was a cover right there.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. Oh, nah, it ain't up here. I think I deleted it or whatever. Nah, I was just going on here to see if they had these figures. They don't.
Hang on. Let me see if I can get my original 1990 icon comic. 1 second. Hang on.
We got 6 people in here. Comic Crusader just popped in. What's good, Almega? He has powers. Damn drugs. Is Vandal as old as Stu?
Oh, good question.
Good question. Who's Vandal? Is it DC character?
Yeah. Hey, that's one of the dopest names. I always thought Vandal Savage.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Reno, check this out. I took mine out of the poly.
No, why'd you do? Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't believe in the poly.
No, I took it out because it, like, the letters looked all like faded because of the poly. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah. So when I took it out, I'm like, oh no, they're bleach white. And I took the card out, put it in the front. But yours is still in the poly and it's back.
I'm listening.
Yeah, yours is still.
You said mine's still in the poly.
Yeah, I didn't mess like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think like you said, I'll look at it. If it looks like the poly's screwing it up, I'll take it out. But right now,
it's not that it's screwing it up, bro. It's just this one's yours. This is still in the poly and in a bag of board.
Nice. And what's dope about that is, like, that's, I think, right, like before the Loki show, that book was in $1 bins. You know what I mean? It was worthless. But then when people started hearing about Lady Loki, that's the first appearance. Lady Loki is in the back of that. Apparently, you took it out the bag. So did you see her in it?
Oh, I just like opened it and immediately bagged it.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Hey, this is just sneak peek
of what? What? Oh wait, hold on. Let me fire that up to the big screen.
This is in your box, man.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I don't know if you already have it or not, but
no, I don't. Anything with Snake Eyes is anything with Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow on the cover.
This is one of yours. Like, I got ready. All right, man.
Nice.
Hella working on yours, man. But
yo, thank you, man.
And then I'm doing this one too. This is another one I'm doing for you. Obviously, it's a Wolverine box. So,
yo, shout out OG for that, man. Yo, like that's what it's all, like you said, man. Spread love through comics, man. Like,
yeah,
if that's what it's all about, man. I gotta get a package together for Spade in a minute, so I'm gonna put you together a box of stuff. I mean, what? Just because you're the man that has everything.
No, man. You ain't got to do that, man. Oh,
no,
check this out.
It's not like I'm paying you back or anything. It's just this is what we do.
The one you have, I love so much, bro, that I had to look for this because I wanted to show you this.
Nice. Hell yeah. I just got a bunch of Moon Knights. I don't have that one though. That's fresh.
But I like that the number one you have. That's the book to get, man. Like,
hold on, let me.
Just
damn, shit went off. Yeah, yeah. Now that's a nice cover, man. See, I love the ones when it's just Moon Knight on the front, not a bunch of busy stuff going on. Like, yeah, that's fresh. Yeah, that Moon Knight number one, man. I got that from where is that? I think I got it right here too. Yep. Yeah, that's shout out Dad and Daughter Comics, Jacob on Instagram.
That's clean.
Yo, he looked out. Yeah, for sure. For sure. My favorite Moon Knight cover is issue 15 actually of that series. Because it's an all black cover with just Moon Knight on the cover with his cape out and the moon in the background. That's it. Just black and white. Super dope.
Hey, there was a Moon Knight run a couple years ago, right? Like maybe 2 years ago or so. I get confused. But in that run, they introduce a villain, and that villain is sick. He's kind of Moon Knight-ish, I guess you could say, because he gets his powers from a god, an Egyptian god as well.
Right.
But he gets his powers from Ra.
Oh, like the sun god?
Yeah. See, that's a dope cover, man.
Man, I love this book. I love this cover. I want to find like a really nice copy of it. This is probably I don't know. This might be even a 9.6. Like, there's no spine ticks, no corner bends. Corners are pretty sharp. I mean, for an old book, man, there's no dents. Like this is like a 9.6, man. Easy.
Wow.
But yeah, I would love to get it slabbed, but yeah, that's just dope, man. Because it's just simple, you know. It's the Moon Knight, black background.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, when you get yours, your slabs, right? Do you buy them like that, or do you send them off yourself, to CGC and all that, or?
No, I send them. I've only bought one comic already slabbed, I think. Did I buy more than one?
But
yeah, I've bought one slabbed, but I've gotten like 15 slabbed myself.
Okay. What's the turnaround time?
Well, now people are talking about like a month because it's so backed up. It's so like whatever happened with the pandemic to make people start collecting, like it just went crazy. They got so bum rushed with stuff that they actually raised their prices, and it's like an extra long turnaround right now because it's so backed up. But I think it would have taken maybe
before all this, like what was
before all this, I mean, you send it to them, and then they're gonna sit on it, work on it for maybe a week or two, depending on, how many books they got in front of you and stuff like that, and then they mail it back. So however long that takes. But now people are talking about a month and a half, crazy shit.
Dang.
Yeah. So I haven't sent nothing in a while. I'm kind of waiting. See if things change. But Stu, are you still with us, man, or what? Did we lose you? Didn't he say he was going to get something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, hold on, I'm gonna go to the vault or whatever. And I gotta wrap this up too, man. I know Stu gotta go to work too. But yeah, man, it was a good show, man. It was great chopping it up with you guys and reviewing these books. I love doing the Indie Wednesdays. So we're gonna keep that up every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 6 Element Hip Hop. We're gonna be doing the new comic book day indie reviews. They'll 90% of the time be live like this. Every now and then I'll do a pre-recorded one. And then Mondays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got hip hop and comics. A little talk show we do, a little sort of Zoom cast we do. Everybody is familiar with DJ Tiger and Stu Dog. And then sometimes we have Lee on, sometimes we have Cooks on, sometimes Spadeonomics Comics. So And then we have big guests as well. Right now, working it out with Pharaoh Monch's manager to yo, that was crazy. He was like DM me because I was looking at Pharaoh Monch's page and Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's dope. He had like action figures in the shelf behind him, like the same action figures I got, like that whole all them shelves right there, all them shelves right there.
He's
Marvel
a
Legends.
straight
He's heavy into them Legends. You saw the video. He just posted a video like today where he was opening a box of them.
Yeah, you saw it.
Let's go. Yeah, you know how he talked.
He did the accent. That was dope.
Yeah. And yeah, but so I just hit him up on the you know, on the post. I was like, yo, that's dope. You into action figures? And he hit me back. And then one day I was like, yo, you got to come on the show, man. And he was like, DM me. I was like, what? I didn't think I was gonna get a response because usually when I, you know, like I would love to have Method Man on the show. Hip hop and comics. Method Man is a huge comic collector. I know once he get wind of the show, I know one day Method Man will be on this show. That's one of my Grail guests. We will have Method Man. It's gonna happen. I promise. But you know, they get, you know, 100,000 messages all day. They can't look at all their DMs. So, but yeah, man, he hit me back. He was like, DM me. So I hit him, and I was like, yo, you know, this is the show. Woo. You know, let me get in touch with your manager or whoever handles your, you know, scheduling or whatever, and, you know, see if we can get you on the show. And he's like, yeah, hit her up here at this email. Here's her, gave me all her info. And so I've been talking to her, and so we settling on a date right now. But hell yeah, Pharaoh Monch was one of my favorite like early 2000 MCs. Easy. I even thought, like, it's been so long. At first I was like, man, this was like I started to be like one of my favorite MCs in the 90s. And then I thought about it for a minute though. I was like, wait, he wasn't even out in the 90s. Like, that's how dope he is. Like, he makes you feel like he's a 90s
like, from that era. Yeah, man. Like,
for real. Yeah. But he only came out in early 2000s. But yeah, so that's coming up. What else? Yeah, working on another interview with Ed Pisker. You know, he's the guy that did hip hop family tree and X-Men Grand Design and all of that. You know, we talked to him already, but want to talk to him and his DJ homeboy, DJ Scheme Richards. Shout out DJ Scheme Richards. He's on Instagram as well. But yeah, man, shout out everybody, man, like DJ Tiger, Full Blast Radio, Comic Crusaders, Al Mega. Shout out to Tribe, everybody. Comic Dudes on Instagram, Madmen of Comics on Instagram. Shout out Chronic Schizo. Shout out Clayface 90. Shout out Dad and Daughter Comics. Shout out Spadeonomics Comics. Shout out Cooks 24. Of course, my man OG Green Lantern right here, OG Lee, and Stu Dog. Where you at? Yo. I don't know. We might have lost Stu. I don't know what's going on. I hate to just end the show without him, man.
I know, man.
You know, I don't want to just.
I want to give a shout out to my shop again, Collector's Choice, Visalia, California. I know there's another Collector's Choice out there because I've come across it on Instagram, but 1988, that's when our store opened, man. So, and I doubt they're before us, but Collector's Choice, Visalia, California, man, 1500 Mooney Boulevard.
Definitely.
Awesome shop. Awesome shop.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know, you know, you always send me a lot of cool comics and stuff, and y'all really got some dope stuff. Man, I'm gonna call Stu on the phone real quick. Yo, for everybody in the chat, man, y'all are welcome to stay, kick it with us. We're gonna chop it up a little bit more. I mean, we already did the reviews. Not much else to do on that tip. We're gonna kick it, chop it up, wait for Stu to come back in. If y'all want to hang out, that's what's up. But we just chilling at this point. Kind of the show is over, but we love to have y'all around. Y'all in the chat. Y'all ain't saying much. What's good? How y'all doing, man? What new comics y'all into?
All right. Couldn't find
I'm calling you on the phone.
Couldn't find icon number 1, but I did one better. I found hardware.
Ooh.
Original from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Man, that reminds me of like I got some of the 90s Valiant books, like the Exo Man of War #1. Like, yo, that's dope.
Heck yeah.
And Valiant has a character named Hardwire.
Yep.
Yeah, that's dope. But what's hardware? What's hardware about?
Reign of the Superman.
Black suit Superman.
Reign of Superman. And here is issue number 1. Came with a collector's card.
Wait, is this different than the one you just showed us?
Yeah, this is the first issue of hardware. This is the very.
What was the other one?
The other one was issue number 8.
Oh, okay. They kind of look similar.
Yeah, I think I have all of them.
Nice.
So here's issue number 1, hardware. See, the first issue collector's item.
Yeah, man. Grap Lover will be into this, man. Shout out Grap.
Yeah, shout out to Grap. It even came with a card, came with a trading card. Well,
Yo, that's thank you for showing that, man. That's dope.
And then here's issue number 3.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Yeah, issue number 3.
Nice coloring. Yeah, that's dope. Can't find the icons though.
Nah, icon. I got icon. I have icon number 1, and I think I have all of them. I really do. I got like these long boxes, like you got on the floor right there. I got a couple boxes of those, man, full of comics, and they're like my original comics from the 90s and the 80s. So I saved them. It took a lot of painstakingly strategic. Make sure you get them before they lost, type of things I had going on. But I made sure I got them, man. I didn't let them go. I'm glad I kept this. Like, look at this.
I know.
This is hardware number 1, the original hardware. I don't even think I've ever seen this on eBay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, this came out in April of 1990 whatever.
Hey, only the first issue has the card, huh?
That was the only one.
Yeah, that's how my static is. It had the card, the trading card in it.
Yeah, so is my icon has a trading card in it. Now my icon is sealed. I didn't open it. It's sealed in the plastic. The original. It's sealed in the original thing that it came in with the trading card. I never opened it, but I have one that I did open. So I had 2.
Okay.
I have one that I opened. Like when I bought Death of Superman, I bought 2. I bought one I opened and went through it, got it, and then I got one I just kept it and just left it closed and left it in there. But when I first read hardware, I was blown away because I was like, "Yo, this dude is like Iron Man. Like he's like a mix between Deathlock and Iron Man."
Hey, is he like? Okay, then he is. I was gonna say, do you ever trip on Exo, or did you ever trip on Exo?
A little bit here and there, yeah.
Because that's how he is. He's like Iron Man. Like they did a crossover of Exo and Iron Man.
Yeah, they had a video game and everything. I remember. Yeah, Exo always did remind me of Iron Man.
His story is just different. Like his story is unique. He's still going today. Like they still make Exo. Like Valiant's still going.
Oh yeah, Exo's got a major book going on right now. That's dope. Oh yeah, Exo's always.
They got their own, because you know how Valiant has their own studio, right? That's how they did Bloodshot and all that. Okay, Valiant also has they have a web series, and I didn't know this, but Tommy from Power Rangers is in it, and this web series has Exo, it has Ninjak, it has I think it has Harbinger. Like it's just like the Valiant universe, and it's a web series for some reason. Like it's not on a TV channel or anything, but the dude that plays Exo is a cool ass dude. Like I'm a fan of that dude, like from other stuff.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that too. Turok, the dinosaur.
It sucks, man. I don't know what's going on my internet right now. I'm looking at the image on YouTube. It looks terrible. I'm sorry, everybody. That's so terrible. It's like all pixelated and stuff. So I don't know if y'all can really see these, but it just made me think of these old 90s like Valiant joints. The old Turok number 0. I think this is Turok number 3, Ninjak number 1.
I remember
like
Ninjak.
Old school. Archer and Armstrong.
Archer and Armstrong. Wow.
Oh, dang.
Psylords number 1.
Man,
Exo Manowar number 1. The 4. This was a dope like comic the way they made it.
It's my favorite character, Valiant, man.
Which one, Exo or Bloodshot?
No, Exo. That's my favorite. Yeah.
This is the foil. They made like these dope foil covers. It's like raised imagery, and it's just they really went all out with these. But the first Exo is dope. It's like a wraparound cover.
Yeah.
And it's made of like this foil. See? I don't know. I don't know if y'all can see, but on YouTube it's probably really hard to see. I guess the Wi-Fi connection. I think it's raining outside, but which I don't know why that affects it, but But yeah, like these books back in the 90s were dope. Like the colors were crazy. They used so much color back then in their books. Like, but I'm not really a fan of the old Valiant stuff. Like I have it because I'm a fan of the current stuff. I'm a fan of the characters and whatnot. So I have like the their first joints and stuff like that. But I didn't really like how they were doing comics back then. Like I didn't really like the art that much. The writing was real kind of basic. But now Valiant is crazy good. Like Valiant is one of the best comics out there. Like they've only got a handful of characters. You know what I mean? They keep it real simple. They might have like 10, 12 characters, something like that, tops in the whole Valiant.
Yeah, top.
Think of how many Marvel and DC characters there are. Hundreds. Hundreds of characters. They keep it handful of characters so you can grasp it and you can not be intimidated. Like, where do I start? That's why I got into Valiant, because when I first started back reading comics in 2019, I was doing it to read them. I was not getting in it to be a collector at all. Like I was a reader, period. I was just digital. I didn't care. I just wanted to read comics. For some reason, spark just hit me. Some reason I just like wanted to read comics again, which I hadn't done since I was like 12. It was weird, but for whatever reason, Valiant was that one that they were like, real easy to get into. You didn't have to feel like, man, I haven't read the first 400 issues, so I don't really know what's going on like with this character. Like Marvel, there's so many volumes, so many different, titles, like how many different Spider-Mans there are. You know what I mean? Like Amazing Web, you know what I mean? Like, and same thing with Batman. Like I was looking at the Batmans. I'm like, well, which Batman? Like, shit, there's 100 different Batmans.
Yeah, the Dark Knight, Batman.
Yeah.
Got Gotham Central. Yeah,
Valiant's though. Look at this. This is Valiant. I got this from the Valiant website. This little joint right here has like, I don't know, something like 1,000 comics on it, digital comics. It's every comic that Valiant published from like 07 to like 18.
That's dope. Yeah, that's
like
dope.
Every comic that they did, every issue of every comic, and they sell it for like $60 on the website, and you can get everything they've done, and it's enough to like love Valiant, bro. Like, it's dope. It's dope. Like Valiant's one of the reasons I thought of starting this channel. Y'all know, like, Harbinger. When I was reading, the dude was quoting Illmatic.
Right.
I'm like, yo, hip hop are in comics too. I knew it's comics and hip hop. Now we got hip hop in comics.
Yeah, man, we just had Deadpool trying to recruit the whole Wu-Tang clan,
right,
to help him save Staten Island. Then he said, "No, I'm not going to do it because if they die, everybody's going to blame me for it." He said, "We can't lose them. We can't lose Wu-Tang clan. We can lose somebody else, but we can't lose Wu-Tang."
No, sir.
He had like a whole conversation about why he should do it, then why he shouldn't do it, and then he wound up just saying, "Skip it. I'm not gonna recruit the Wu-Tang clan."
Yeah, dog. I have so many Valiant books, dog. Like I have all the old shit. I got a whole box.
The Valiant?
That's my whole. I have a whole, a whole long box with just Valiant. It's like every.
I don't have a lot of Valiant comics. I need to. I always like Ninjaks. Always liked the Ninjaks.
Ninjak's cool.
Yeah, I always thought Ninjak was dope.
Ninjak is kind of Batman to me. He's kind of their Batman. Yeah. Exo's kind of their Iron Man, but not really because he's also kind of their Thor.
Yeah, at the same time, yeah.
He's a Visigoth. Like he was like a barbarian back in the days, fighting Vikings and fighting Roman soldiers and shit like that. And then he got abducted by aliens, and they have this suit that they worship because it's the all-powerful suit, and no one can wear it though. Like everyone that tries to put it on, it immediately kills them. The power in it just kills whatever being tries to don the suit. And they took these people to be slaves off Earth during the days of the Romans and the barbarians and stuff. And he was one of the barbarians, one of the Visigoths, and they so they had all these people, and they're gonna have him be slaves. But somehow he escapes, and he gets to the suit and puts it on, and of course it fits him, or it doesn't kill him, and he's all powerful at that point. He just like the suit basically just wipes out the whole thing for him, like flies the ship back, I think, to Earth, and I think he gets back, but when he comes back, it's modern days. Like all this time has passed, but he didn't experience it.
See, I never knew that because it explains why he talks the way he does.
Mm-hmm.
He talks real weird. Yeah,
that's why I say he's like their Thor too. Okay. He's not a god, but he's like from that time. He's like a man out of time type of displaced type of story. But they keep it like that. Like every so many years, Valiant reboots their titles. So they'll have Exo going for X amount of years, then they'll reboot it and do another run, and then they'll reboot. But every time they reboot it, they'll retell the origin. They'll reacclimate you with who he like. It'll be like a whole new start. Whereas Marvel, when a new volume starts, they don't do any of that. Like you still got to go find the origin of whoever whenever it happened. Like they don't retell the story with each volume. So that's one thing about that attracted me to Valiant at the time, because I was into reading, and you can jump in anywhere with a Valiant, and it's all good comic. Like it's great writing. Like it's not garbage. It's not like a cheapo. It's not like a discount Marvel or nothing like that. Like they have their own shit and they're dope. But they fill all the gaps. Like Harbinger is like their sort of X-Men. Except mutants, everyone has like their psychic powers, and they've got their X, Professor X, which is Harada, and looking at the other stuff up there. But yeah, like everything has this, a Ninjak. He's obviously he's a ninja, but he's also a spy. He's kind of like a James Bond character and a spy at the same time.
Don't forget Bloodshot.
Somebody's car alarm?
No, that's where I'm at. Somebody behind me, I guess. I got my door open.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, they just stopped it.
Yeah, but anyway,
don't get the cheap car alarms, people. Get the
Shadow Man is another one. One of their great characters. And they just started a new Shadow Man comic that I haven't read, but I've been buying it because Shadow Man is a dope character, and it's a new reboot, so they'll retell. And it's not like they just retell it again, like all boring. Like they revamp it, but what I'm saying is they give that character an origin again, like it's so that you could jump in at the beginning at issue number 1 and be a new reader and totally be, up on everything. And Bloodshot is another dope one. Obviously, they did the movie with Ving Rhames.
With Ving Rhames,
which was surprisingly close to the comic. They did pretty good. I mean, obviously, it's a movie; it's gonna be a little different, but they really got the essence of it.
Yeah, just a little bit of Hollywood, but it was.
I liked it. I thought it was cool.
I thought it was cool too, but it stuck with the with the story. It stuck with the source material.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of Hollywood, just a little bit.
Yeah. But
enough so that people who aren't fans can jump into.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely in the vein and in the tradition of Valiant. And But that's another one that what's also dope about Valiant, it's in the way that Marvel does have its Marvel universe and DC has its, you know, Earth 1 or whatever. Everyone, you know, they sort of are connected. With Valiant, they're really connected. Like all the different characters know each other in a way, like in some way they intersect.
Yeah, they intersect.
And all the stories, and all the stories kind of go along. So if you're reading EXO and you decide you want to go read Bloodshot, it'll be literally going like tying in, like you'll see it talking about the same stuff. They'll even redo a scene from another point of view in another comic, which is dope. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I always thought that was cool too. I always liked that because I just like the way they just put it all together and just connect them. Because when you go to DC and Marvel, they don't do that. They don't connect everything. Some things they do, only things that's relevant or characters, but for the most part, they're in that same universe together.
But you can have like the Avengers, and then you know the X-Men will be in it doing something. But if you're reading X-Men right now, it doesn't say anything about that. But yet these characters are X-Men. They're supposedly going through this at this time with the Avengers. But if you're reading X-Men right now, they're not doing that. That's not what they're talking about. With Valiant, if the character's doing something, and if Bloodshot's doing something in EXO, when you read Bloodshot, there will be a corresponding issue where that same thing is happening.
That's dope. Well, listen, fellas, I got to sign off here. It's been a blast.
Yeah, man. We already kind of signed off while you were gone looking for Icon, but I didn't want to shut it off while you was.
Oh, my bad, man. I'm sorry. Because I had to pull out a couple boxes. I was like, let me get this. I said, it's got to be in this box. I think I got the right box, but I just couldn't. It's so many in there. I'm going through them, man. I kind of double backed them. I double backed them all. You know what I mean? Because I was just like, you know what? You know,
I used to do that too. I used to do the same thing. I think really the fact that I display them is why I never do that now. But I used to put them in like that, like one on each side.
Yeah, don't forget
on your cardboard when you bag and board your comics, the smooth side should touch your book, not the other side.
That's another thing too, because the other side will suck the ink out or whatever.
Yeah, it'll suck the book.
I had to go back and take some of these out then. Yeah. Plus, you got Shaq right there playing steel. Don't forget Shaq plays steel for all you people.
Got to, man.
Yeah.
But anyway,
another DC comic they just ruined with a movie.
There is a slick side and a sort of matte side. There's like
a glossy side. Yeah, one
glossy side and a matte side, right? You want the glossy side to touch the comic.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's another. Yeah, I stopped doing. I was probably 12 when I used to put one on each side, but I haven't done that since I started collecting again.
No. Good to know. I'll take some of them out. But there's Hardware issue number 1, original in the 90s.
What a treat!
Went the day it released. Picked up my copy and kept it moving.
All right, y'all. Again. 6 Element of Hip Hop, Reno Noir signing off. Salute OG Lee, salute Stu Dog for showing up, man, and showing out. Al Mega in the building. Peace, everybody. Spadeonomics. Thank y'all.
Mega
Yo, and we gonna see y'all again. Actually, we're gonna see y'all this Friday at 6 p.m. Me and Stu will be presenting the new hip hop artist on Full Blast Radio. And OG, you want to say something?
Oh, just spread love through comics, man, and everyone have a good rest of your week.
All right.
Peace.